Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank my colleagues and friends in EBS Slovak, Timothea, Eva, Lucia, and Gabriela, and their team for their warm welcome, kindness, and friendliness. My topic is, the title is How Picture Books Help Children to Deal with Trauma and Crisis based our experience in Iran. We have a project about reading promotion in Iran, which is called Read With Me. The main motto of this project is all children have the right to read quality books. Read With Me is a reading promotion project designed and implemented by the Institute for Research on the History of Children's Literature more than 10 years ago to promote reading for or with disadvantaged children who are generally at risk. Our institute, the Institute for Research on the History of Children's Literature, is a non-governmental, non-profit organization. In 2000, it was funded in 2000 to conduct research on the history of children's literature in Iran. Then, 150,000 children and young adults, boys and girls, 0 to 16 years old, in 21 provinces in Iran have joined to this project by now. And more than 4,000 teachers, tutors, and volunteers have been trained as well. The main objective of this project is to make quality books accessible to children who normally don't have access to books, like street working children or those living in remote and deprived areas of Iran. The project focuses on reading aloud, aiming to create a joyful experience for children in group, while it intends to empower teachers, librarians, and volunteers in remote areas through training workshops and regular mentoring. Reading aloud is accompanied with conversation and creative activities related to the books. Performing drama is an important related activity to make a deep impression on children through literature and make reading a joyful experience which motivates the aesthetic emotions in children. Read With Me insists in quality books because sharing quality books have a profound and lasting impact on children's minds. These are the criteria for selecting quality books. The best quality in overall literary quality, the best quality in employing artistic techniques, convey living values to children. Their subjects could help children in problem solving. The target groups of this project are the children who live in low-income families or in deprived areas. They are mostly at greater risk of behavioral and emotional problems. They expose unsafe neighborhoods and violence. Living in poverty affect the emotional and physical well-being of children. Children in crisis include working and street children, children in nurseries and orphanages, children suffer from serious illness, children affected by natural disasters such as earthquake and floods. Children in crisis display different behaviors that reflect what they have experienced. The reaction of traumatized children should be recognized by teachers and librarians and parents to help to overcome their emotional upset and anxieties. What are the reactions of traumatized children? Intense and ongoing emotional upset, depressive symptoms, feeling sad and hopeless, anxiety and fear, behavioral changes, difficulties with self-regulation, problems relating to other or forming attachments, feeling disconnected. Reaching out to children in crisis and sharing books with them is one of the main actions of Read With Me program. During natural disaster, children are often neglected in the course of assistance. Youth survivors may think and feel extremely threatened, unsafe, isolated, even hopeless and angry with themselves and with the adults who were supposed to protect them from harm. One of the best things we do is simply reassure children that many people, their family, their teachers, their neighbors, the people at daycare or mosque, church, or the library love and care about them and are looking out for their safety. Sharing books with children in groups provide such atmosphere and feeling for children in trauma. Sharing picture books with children who suffer from serious illness, such as cancer, to give them hope and strength was another case of Read With Me program to experience bibliotherapy with children in difficult situations. The books help children and their families to go through the tough process of healing more easily by creating moments filled with the joy of reading and happiness. Using quality picture books as bibliotherapy for this group of children is one of the important tasks of Read With Me. Connecting children to appropriate books is one of the most crucial aspects of bibliotherapy. Why picture books are so important in bibliotherapy program? First, they play as unifying factor in communication. Picture books relate the stories in two languages, verbal and visual. And in wordless picture books, the story is related only by visual language. Visual expression in the form of picture book can cross over language barriers and serve as a universally understood language. The picture books can serve as a unifying factor between children of different nations with different language around the world or all over Iran. The official language of Iran is only one, Persian or Farsi. 7 more languages are recognized regional languages. Sharing quality picture books in Balochistan, where children's mother tongue is Baluchi, or in Kurdistan, where children's mother tongue is Kurdish, could be understood much easier and faster than other forms of children's book. Picture books is ideal and best format to share with children in group. Big illustrations, few words and sentences, limited pages make it the best tool for group to communicate and concentrate, which usually leads to a feeling of well-being and relaxation. Quality picture books, which are created by master illustrators and artists, who are usually great thinkers and philosophers, present artistic and optimistic images, which could be replaced by the dark and terrible ones the children have in their minds. Elmer's David Mackey, The Colorful Elephant, is one of the picture books helped the children in crisis of our project. It simply brought them joy and happiness, and also built a positive self-esteem. Elmer is the elephant, which is different with others, but it is the only member of their society could bring them more laughter to their life. The quality picture books encourage to do related art activities after reading aloud, and always art activities help children in trauma a lot. After reading aloud the picture book Elmer, children usually love to engage art activities. The children affected by earthquake in Kermanshah, after reading Elmer, loved to draw Elmer on their cabin library to give this message to their peers: here is a safe place that they could be happy and relaxed. Come and join us. Redbird is one of picture books that both writer and illustrator have conveyed a philosophical message about getting through the tough time. Astrid Lindgren wrote this story in one of the darkest periods of the history, Second World War, to encourage children not to give up hope. And Marit Tornquist, by illustrating this story, wants to share it with modern children who live in crisis to give them hope. Redbird is the story of two orphaned children who are sent to a farm after losing their parents. A ruthless farmer drives them to hard work for little food. Redbird is the symbol of hope in this story. When children are sad and hopeless, the redbird gives them hope that good days will come. When Redbird was read for children in a cabin library in Kermanshah, Leah, Kurdish Iranian girl, who was survived from the terrible earthquake, wrote a letter to Marit, the Swedish-Dutch illustrator of Redbird. She wrote, "Dear Marit, we read Redbird in our tent. It was so nice and so helpful. I hope you can come to Iran one day. It is our dream." Marit was moved by that letter. She wrote to Leah, "Yesterday I received your letter. I tried to imagine you sitting in your tent writing a letter to me. I was very impressed because I know that you guys have had a hard time going through it. I wish I was the mother of the red bird story, so I could fulfill all your wishes. But now I can only say that I care about you and wish you were strong. I wish all the children there a beautiful future. Can I please say hello to all the kids out there? With much love to all of you, Marit. But Marit came to Iran and met Leah and other children affected by earthquake and lived in tents. She had several workshops with children at Read With Me libraries. Marit Tornquist held several workshops for children in some centers in marginal parts of Tehran as well, where Afghan refugee families and also underprivileged families lived there. In the workshops, Marit asked each of children to portray their own red birds. Then each of these children responded to the question about the place they wished their red bird took them. Marit Tornquist is one of the illustrators who is interested in illustrating serious and difficult issues. She was so impressed by her first visit from Iran, decided to donate her 2 other picture books to Read With Me program to help the Iranian and Afghan refugee children who live in tough situations. The Island of Happiness is one of her picture books she wanted to share with these children. It is a tale of a girl in search of happiness. The poetic, philosophical content and exquisite illustrations could connect to children very well. At one of the Children Empowerment Center in a marginal, deprived areas of Tehran, the tutor reported on the feedback of children when she shared this book with her students. They talked about what the final island would look like and how the girl could make her life anew and do the things she loves to do. The goal of making visual images is give group members an opportunity to tell their stories any way they like. In this case, the children painted whatever they wished on their island. They could speak about their wishes and their feelings. It was really a springboard for the children who never spoke about their feelings or never expressed their emotions and passions. Beyond the Dream by Jeff Arts is the 3rd picture book Marit donated to Read With Me. The issue of death and loss of loved ones is one of a frequent question for children, and always is a challenging topic for them to cope with it. And Beyond the Dream is one of the quality picture books could help children in this way. Jeff Arts has written Beyond a Dream based on his experience. When I was a kid, I always thought of an older sister I'd never seen, he says. I was playing with her in my dreams as if she were alive. The beautiful illustrations of this picture book are very helpful to the Iranian children who are lost parents or siblings in natural disasters, or to Afghan refugee children who fled from war. Marit traveled to Iran once more and held workshops for the children again. At her workshop, named Lost Treasures, she asked children to draw their lost treasure on a paper and cut it out. Many children who never spoke about losing their beloved persons started to speak about their lost treasures. It was a miracle. Maurice Sendak, Where the Wild Things Are, helped children with lower self-esteem, with sense of isolation and limited imagination, to expand their fantasy and express their feelings by body movements and acting. Fantasy picture books let the imagination of children fly. The illustrations of quality picture books provide ideas about setting and characters and other visual elements for children to perform drama, even by employing very simple and cheap recycled material. The picture book, Where the Wild Things Are, gives some extraordinary images to children, which stimulates their imagination to indulge in an adventure outside of their real world. This allows them to practice mastery in a world under their control. Sometimes, feeling of children live in difficult situations could be so overwhelming that children may freeze and are unable to act. Sharing the picture books, children get an opportunity to work with their feelings in a structured, direct, and reflective way, allowing them to practice action, to unfreeze themselves. The picture books give ideas to the children and teachers about the actions, settings, characters, when there is no professional training on drama and role-playing in remote areas. Fantasy picture books related activities encourage children to step into the story and could move to inner layers of the story and identify with the main characters. This poster of Where the Wild Things Are shows children really put themselves in the main character's shoes, and setting is very similar to the place the children of Sistan and Baluchistan live, with camels and palm trees. Reading these picture books and doing the related activities was good opportunity for the children in difficult circumstances to express their fears, angers, rage, and other repressed emotions. Seven Horses, Seven Colors by Hadi Mohammadi, illustrator by Nushin Safakhu, is a fantasy Iranian picture book about a disabled girl. In her imagination, the disabled girl gets power to ride on the horse out of her room to a fantasy world. The fantasy illustrations, which move beyond the boundaries, encourage children in difficult situations or emotional pressure to improve their self-esteem, to handle tough times better. Sharing this picture book with Afghan refugee children in marginal part of Tehran and children who suffered serious illness in a hospital gave this opportunity to them to personalize the fantasy atmosphere of the story and look at a better world through their imagination window, and return to their room with more colors, fantasy, and strengths. In our society, children are exposed to violence, instability, and other stressful factors. We have witnessed the impact of literature and specifically picture books on children's lives. Reading promotion, sharing picture books could be a unique solution for healing the scars of children. The quality picture books are the necessary tool to assist children through personal tribulations. They could give lasting and enduring hope to children. Thank you for listening.